how do you work with 29,000 individual agents who market themselves differently under one brand?
I think it's important to know that even like the way you show up at your open houses, you are the brand.
Organic obviously is the best, just like getting repeat and referral business is the best.
Welcome back to The Real Podcast. I'm Leo, your AI co-host. Today, we're in San Diego with two powerhouses in real estate marketing and leadership. Dre Madden, the Chief Marketing Officer at Real, joins Jason Cassity, one of San Diego's top real estate team leaders and a creator whose content has inspired thousands of agents nationwide. In this episode, you'll hear how Dre went from the dot-com boom to leading brand strategy for nearly 30,000 agents, and how Jason built his business by betting big on video, social, and transparent storytelling. It's all about branding, consistency, and why the future of real estate marketing is being reshaped by AI. Let's dive in.
Dre, you're here in San Diego, my hometown. Tell the people, how did you get to be the CMO of Real? What's your story?
Oh my, so I am a dot-com boom girl. I started after UCSB straight into the internet world in San Francisco and got a really great experience testing out a lot of internet startups.
Love it.
And I started off in PR, went to business development, and then the dot-com crash happened, and I headed to business school. And on the reverse, when I came out, I loved internet and I loved technology so much that I wanted to stick with it. So I got a job. Actually, I was the intern at eBay during my business school time, and that helped me get this job at StepHub. And StepHub was my first real marketing experience. I started off as a marketing manager, and I stayed there for 11 years, and it started off with 20 of us. And when I left, it was a $3 billion company. But during that time, I was able to like set up almost all of the marketing channels.
Love it.
So I got to run email and affiliate and social when it came out, right? And it was a very, very high growth startup. Yeah. And so that's what I love to do, is build high growth startups. So fast forward, many years later, went to OpenTable, went to another startup as a CMO, and went to Rodan & Fields. And Rodan & Fields was, ironically enough, a similar experience to what I'm doing now, because I had the ability to set up marketing and work with all of the consultants, and we had 300,000 people that were selling the Rodan & Fields products. Yeah. But there was quite a few that were selling a lot of it, and I realized then how much I appreciate this social commerce environment. And Real, although it's not e-com, and it's not direct response, there's so many similarities. Because I get to work with all of you guys and really empower and build the marketing tools and services and assets that you need to thrive. And that was the relationship that was so similar. And at the time, Rodan & Fields was like crazy growth, high growth. So to me, I just love like drinking out of a fire hose every day.
I love it. Okay, so you mentioned coming from Rodan & Fields, which is interesting because they have like a lot of individual producers that came together under one brand, which kind of reminds me of like Real, right? We just crossed 29,000 agents, which is awesome. And you're the CMO of the whole company. How do you work with 29,000 individual agents who market themselves differently under one brand?
So one of the big key value props of Real is that we let you be your brand, right? So I think the piece that's really important is that, well, with Rodan & Fields specifically, it was the brand. You had to keep the brand, and so it was a little bit easier of a job for me.
I bet.
And a lot of it was education that we do now here, and a lot of skincare education, because that's, and so for us here, I feel like the brand is so, like, as much as we want everyone to have their own brand, we also benefit significantly if the Real brand shows up and is consistent. So as you see across the board, we're developing enormous amounts of assets for people to use, and we're hoping that everyone will take a piece of the brand and integrate it, but be armed with the brand guidelines.
That makes sense though, because like with 29,000 agents means, say, 29,000 listings across the country with signs in the yard.
Right.
So if we can have the logo, the colors on brand matching, it just helps the company.
So we need both.
Yeah.
So we want all of our agents to have their own brand look and feel, but at the same time, we need consistency in order for people to understand and see it and recognize it, and especially as we build a large consumer base, as we continue to grow.
Yeah, for sure. That makes total sense. So, okay, so then what, from a CMO's perspective, what are one or two things that agents should really be thinking about in their marketing plan?
Ooh. What do you mean?
So like if you were, I would say like if you were an agent question,
yes.
but like
where
if you
am
were
I
an agent,
where am I in the marketing?
But so you're the CMO, so you see 29,000 great marketing. You probably see some bad marketing. What would you say? Is it a powerful print graphic design? Is it my brand? Is it a logo? Is it a brand mark?
It's everything. Okay. So it's assets from like right when you step into Reel and you've got your just joined. You create who you are and you layer on the Reel brand with it. To as you go in through all your listing presentations, your just sold, all your signs. Like it's not, a brand is not, oh, I'm going to put a sign that has Reel on it. Yeah. It's everything you do. Yeah. And you do a really good job of that. And I saw your rebrand a little while ago.
Oh, I forgot to ask you about that. Did I get the seal of approval?
You got the seal of approval. Okay, it looks awesome.
Good.
But you did a good job of combining the two, where you're not getting rid of anything that makes you, but it's very recognizable that it's Reel. Yeah. And we've been trying, if you haven't seen, I know you have seen, but over the past years, we've been elevating the brand. If you look at the brand like 4 years ago, it's somewhat different. We did keep the Reel logo for a reason. Everybody loves it. They love the brackets, they love the logo, but we elevated it with, putting some design appeal to it with a box around it and having it be a blackout and back. So to us, like, I think it's important to know that even like the way you show up at your open houses, you are the brand. Yeah. What you wear, you are the brand. Like you could see how often we're wearing really cool kicks, or we're bold and we're fierce and we are different, Reel, and we're proud of it. Yeah. But it's not about fireworks and flamingos everywhere. It's about a consistent look and feel. Yeah.
Okay, Reel's growth over the last 5 years has been astronomical. We're just coming up on 30,000 agents. How has marketing played a role in that growth?
Well, it's actually about you guys, because you guys are the ones that are the epic marketers. I mean, if you saw how we look on social, it's unbelievable with the creativity of our agents. And it's not about us pushing content down. It's about all the creative, unique content that's going out on social every day. Yeah. I feel like we have the best marketers in the entire industry. And I feel incredibly lucky to be partners with everybody. Yeah, that's valid. So just us amplifying the Reel voice, the logo and stuff like that through our announcements, through our Just Listed, Just Sold, Join. It continues the brand, it excels the brand, and it elevates the brand. But it actually keeps the brand live. Yeah. Like we don't have to spend millions of dollars on advertising because we have such creative content that's coming out all the time. Yeah, for sure. That makes total sense. So you are, in fact, one of the great marketers at Reel as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tell me a little bit about why marketing is so important to you and your brand, and how has it helped? Marketing's everything, I think, for us. So obviously, like we always say not joke, but like you're either marketing the houses that you're trying to sell or you're marketing yourself. So like as a real estate agent, you're kind of constantly marketing. When we started out, I think we overspent on marketing a little bit. I think the rule of thumb is you're supposed to spend about 15% of your GCI back into marketing. We probably spent 30, 35 in those early years. But that is actually more common, and e-com is always 30, 35, 40. Really? And especially for high growth startups. See, that's the thing, is like, because I'm not from San Diego, I'm from Sacramento. Okay. So I didn't have like this big network of like high school friends buying and selling. And so for me, I had to make a name for myself. And so I chose to market the heck out of those early years. Facebook ads, video marketing, right? All the stuff that you do, print pieces, anything that I could to get my name out there, I was spending money on early on. I cared less about like brand marks, logos, fonts, colors. I cared a lot more about just getting the success about like that we were having, right? Yeah. Sharing case studies, Just Listed, Just Sold, stuff like that. Always doing it a little bit differently, trying to tell the story of the client versus me. It was never like, look at me, I sold this house. It was like, here's Mike and Christine. We just helped sell their house. Here's their story, their house. But it sounds like you had some consistency and you don't even realize you were doing it. Correct. And it's just, we over-indexed on marketing early on because we knew it would be instrumental for us to grow both our brand and then get leads right away from it too. Early on, I always joke that I shot this video, like probably 14 years ago now.
and it was a YouTube video. It was the worst video of all time. In fact, I'll try to send it to you so you can see how bad it was. And it was all about condo litigation in downtown. So it was a terrible video. It had like 32 views, and someone called me from it. And they're like, hey, I saw your video. Our condo's in litigation. We're getting ready to sell. Would you come to it? And so I early on saw the value, a success, like a feel for the success. And I'm like, oh, this works. And then like a year later, I remember I was on Twitter, and so I searched.
Now you're aging yourself. Twitter.
X. I searched like selling my home San Diego or moving to San Diego, and I just saw someone say like trying to sell my home in San Diego, and I said, oh hey, what's up? Da da da. Got that listing, and then he sold that condo, and it turned into another house sale in Chula Vista. So like I saw the power of social results early, and so then I needed more. I was like, I got to keep doing this, and so I poured more and more money into it, and it's worked.
Nice.
12, 15 years later, but still it worked early on too.
And now the tactics are quite different, or are they the same?
Now the tactics are a little different, but in the sense that first YouTube video, no, it's video marketing on social. Right, I don't have the big YouTube brand. I never like went all in on YouTube. I wish I had, actually, if I'm looking back on it. I probably over-indexed on Instagram more. So I started building my brand, right? So like a little bit more about me on Instagram. People follow you, and so I got to know other agents that way too, and that's led to agent referrals, which is great. And so I think if I could go back, I would probably over-index on YouTube a little bit more. But I went in on Instagram. But that being said, it worked out. And so like I was able to make agent connections nationwide. And then of course I followed all my clients on social media, so then they see all the things that we're doing.
And of course, not everybody knows that that's something you do.
Not every, I mean, it feels like now in 2025, everybody knows you're supposed to be doing it. But yeah, for the last 10 years, like we were just an early adopter on those platforms. The reason we spent so much is because we went into ad spend. So like organic obviously is the best, just like getting repeat and referral business is the best. But early on, especially those first 3 to 5 years when you don't have a big book of business, you do rely a lot on paid advertising. So yeah, I learned how I probably spent 5 figures in A/B testing Facebook leads, and like wish I could get that money back, but it actually taught me how to do it, which is really, really important. So it was scary, especially those first 5 years when you don't have a lot of money to be spending on ad spend. It is a little bit scary to actually know like, hey, I'm gonna put this out. I'm hoping that it's gonna come back and pay off. I just had a belief that obviously social ad spend, Google pay-per-click, and some of the other like early ad spend was gonna pay off, and it did.
And also I think what I've seen from your stuff is incredible genuine content.
Thank you.
Where it's not sell, but rather like showcasing that you're an asset to them.
Yeah.
And you're a resource. And so that's also a pretty important piece that drives trust, right?
Yeah, the transparency, like I think it's Tom Ferry or someone always says like people have to know you, like you, and trust you.
Right.
And so like a lot of agents sometimes are like, look at me, like look what I did, you know what I mean? But it's not very likable and trustworthy if you're just always looking at me. So like I'll share the losses. I've shared when I've lost listing appointments, right? Or I've shared when something's gone wrong. It's just like the transparency of it. It just connects with people at a better level. As opposed
you're humble. You're like a real person.
We're real people. Exactly. You know what I mean? You're just sharing the ups and the downs. Like no other industry. I remember seeing somewhere it was like, what if Taco Bell on their Instagram feed just said, just sold a taco, and every time they sold a taco, and that's all they said? That would be terrible. Like what you're trying to do is you're trying to share the story about how things happen, your wins, your losses, behind the scenes. There's another saying that's like, document, don't create. I think a lot of people get really worried about what to put on social, what to create, when the easier move is just to document what you're doing. And when you're documenting what you're doing, just flip the camera around, show yourself getting ready for a listing presentation, how you do your CMAs. You're gonna show some of your losses too and some of the blemishes, but it connects with people on a better level.
Okay, we always talk about great successes.
Yeah.
But I think the fun stuff is actually what fails and how do you learn from it.
Okay.
So let's talk through an example of a marketing fail where you got some good grit in it, and you also learned some things that you can make changes to.
Early on, this was 2014-ish, so probably 10, 11 years ago. I had this new listing downtown, actually right nearby, and I printed 500, almost like index card, postcard size, and all I did on it was put a URL. So it said www.1501front. Blank white card that said 1501front328.com.
Okay.
And I left it on 500 car windshields around the condo building, thinking that there was going to be like a ton of people that went to my landing page and learned all about it. 0 hits. And I think what I learned, 0 hits to the URL. I figured there would
No
be some
curiosity.
curiosity, like what is
Okay.
this? Like a movie trailer where it's like,
They think they were going to
what
get
is
stuck
that?
or something?
So I put this URL with all the pictures
Okay.
and all the stuff, and then I was like, I had a capture on it, so I could
you
learn
put time into this.
0 thing. And I think I learned that like, your target market matters. So like if those postcards had gone to the neighbors in the building, if I had just mailed them to the
Right.
neighbors, probably would have got a lot more hits because the neighbors care, hey, that's
About
my
their
address.
place.
What should
Yes.
Putting it on the cars on the street outside of it had no relevance. There, it's probably 85% of them probably thought it was trash, spam, threw it away. Probably had a few people that like actually got mad at it because I just touched their car.
Or now they would think it was some kind of fraud.
Yeah,
right?
some sort of fraud thing, right? You go to the site and now it's fraud.
Yeah.
And so I learned really early on that like the importance of your target market matters. So like I would have just done so much more, so much more success if I would have actually just mailed those postcards to the actual neighbors or gave color to what the link was. I think there's something there, like curiosity to drive it. But when it comes to real estate, if you're trying to sell something, you do have to introduce like, hey, go here to see the photos of this list. Something a little bit more.
It also looks like it's more legitimate than you just putting it out.
Correct. And I'm not saying like every agent puts out the just listed, just sold, so like that type of stuff. You can do a little bit better now that we have QR codes and extra stuff like that. But yeah, just spamming 500 car windshields with a URL with no explanation to what it was, huge marketing loss that I learned from.
Don't do that again.
So don't do that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super funny. I would love your opinion on what you think are the reasons why Reel is so appealing from a marketing perspective.
For sure, twofold. I mean, right, like in the meat and potatoes of it, just the low cost structure of Reel like allows you to put more money back into your marketing versus most brokerages. So like, I won't spend a ton of time there because I know economics isn't super sexy, but like saving some money and putting it back in your business matters, right? When switching from my old brokerage to Reel, I saved an exorbitant amount of money that I was able to then put into videography, put into listing videos and stuff like that. So that helps. But more so, I actually think it's like the people that we're surrounded. You mentioned it earlier. You're like, we have the best marketers in the business, and that's true. And so like being surrounded by other people who are doing video marketing at a high level on social is clutch. I see Matt Leonetti put out his Benny listing video, and that makes me want to do a better listing video. You know what I mean? So then I did my Home Alone listing video, and so like I had videos that came as an inspo from other Reel agents, or I see people do their announcement videos, or I see people do their social stuff, and I'm like, that is such a great idea. And then we have the masterminds in the academy, so I get to actually call up these people or go talk to them on Zoom and learn exactly how they did all that type of stuff. So like iron sharpens iron. Being around that ecosystem helps you elevate your game too. I think that's like a really, really important part.
But I also love how collaborative people are and how supportive.
Yeah.
Because you not only, I remember the whole Benny video and your Home Alone and the encouragement you got from the community at large.
Yeah.
Beyond the fact that it was so great from a unique perspective, and it got so much love in the community.
It's so cheesy to say. I don't know how to say this, but like at other brokerages, it's like you feel like the other people are your competition.
Right.
And I feel like at Reel, it feels like we're all in this together and like we're helping each other out. And so like it's tough to explain. I'm saying this on a podcast. I know I'm supposed to say that, but it really is like an intangible where like people are opening the playbook to help you get better, even if there's no financial incentive or different cities or whatever. People are just way more amicable about sharing what they're doing that's working.
Because we're gonna all rise if we all,
100%.
It's pretty cool the way the model works.
100%.
But I do love the collaboration over competition.
Okay, so what's next for marketing? Like, where do you see the industry going?
Well, I see AI as one of the most exciting. I mean, everybody sees AI as exciting, but they also see it as incredibly scary too.
For sure.
And we're harnessing AI in a variety of ways at Reel to make us so much more smarter, to make us quicker, more efficient. And we're going to be doing some great things in the future that I cannot tell you about.
Okay, just keep it on the down low.
It's a very big secret.
Okay.
But yeah, I think AI is like, if we went, even in the next 3 months, like life will be different, and every 3 months thereafter.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, you could never have thought 6 months ago that we would be here. So it's impossible to predict what 6 months or a year is going to be like. If you would have started a small business even 2 years ago, using PowerPoint for all your stuff. Now you use Canva,
Right.
and then now in 6 months or a year, you're going to be using AI to do it all for you. And so like it's just going to transfer so much. But yeah,
But I will tell you, like Leo is integrating it is AI. It's
Yeah.
your co-pilot, and the fact that we have Reason integrated into Leo, and actually vice versa, we're able to bring a lot of marketing capabilities to the forefront that you're going to get pushed tons of cool content, and you won't even have to do anything.
I've already started.
You just have to.
Yeah, you go just give
Right.
me a just
Give me
listed
a-
post or a bifold
Yeah.
for 1744 Thomas,
Yes.
and it's like. brrr, and
Yeah,
then
well,
it's right
that's
there.
Leo at its
Yeah.
finest, and that's very unique in the marketplace right
Yeah,
now.
that's very cool. Yeah.
What about you? Like, outside of that, are you harnessing AI, or do you
Of
find
course.
it's like,
No, yeah, we use ChatGPT for almost everything, and Gemini, one of the two. We have custom GPTs set up for just about anything marketing related, so copywriting. We have custom instructions not to use M dashes or use human language, but we use it for all of our copywriting listing descriptions, and we're just starting to play with it for like YouTube thumbnails and things like that, Mid-Journey, so we can basically streamline process for getting stuff back, when it comes to
So you can
marketing.
just imagine, like in the last 6 months, how your life has changed.
Yeah.
Like, what's this gonna look like?
Yeah, exactly. There's no way to know in a year from now, but it's like you're not gonna get replaced by AI. You're gonna get replaced by someone using AI.
Right.
So like
That's
it just-
100%
So
right.
just use it.
You have to
learn
harness it.
Learn how to use it. Yeah.
And don't get scared.
Yeah, I wouldn't be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Which
people
doesn't sound like you're scared.
the people utilizing AI are going to win, and it might shave some margins off. Maybe the bottom 10% or 20% should be scared, but like for those of you who are utilizing it now, it's just going to make it so much easier for you to put out more content, as opposed to taking away your job. It's going to allow you to 10x your job.
Yeah.
Is what's going to.
It'll be fun to see. We'll
Yeah.
watch this. We'll watch this segment in a year from now.
we'll see
We'll
see what
see
happens.
if we were right.
Exactly. Dre, thanks so much for coming to my town, San Diego, talking to you.
Beautiful. And look at this day. Oh
I
my God,
know.
we're so lucky.
So lucky.
That's a wrap on today's episode with Dre Madden and Jason Cassity. I hope you caught the through line. Marketing is everything. From Dre's lessons scaling startups to Jason's early Facebook ads and YouTube experiments, the real difference comes from consistency, creativity, and community. And as we heard, AI is not here to replace you. It's here to make you 10x better. If you enjoyed today's conversation, share this episode with a colleague, subscribe for future insights, and remember, real growth starts with real conversations. Until next time, I'm Leo, your AI co-host. Stay creative, stay real.